Mic check 1 2. Hope we live. Can y'all hear me? Check check. All right, we back for another good show. I want to thank y'all for jumping in, tuning in to One on One right here today. We got two really good guests. We got Coach Garrett Lucas and we got Coach Bill Belton. Should be a really good show, man. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that comment section. I'm gonna be pulling in some of the questions that come along. Be throwing them in the broadcast today. Go ahead and answer that poll question. So the poll question of the day was the season what you expected? Like, did you expect what happened this season to happen? I mean, it could be from a fan's point of view, it could be from a player's point of view, any one of those point of views, man. So that's the general question. Was it the season that you expected? And I'm going to get some answers in here. Look like we got like 80% of people who came in answered that. And if you haven't already, go ahead and share this live out. I'm gonna adjust this camera just a little bit, y'all. All right, don't kill me. All right, had to adjust that just a little bit, but go ahead and share it out, man. Let people know we gonna have a good one today. Want to thank y'all for taking your time out and coming in, rocking out with me. Look, man, I'm starting early. I don't know about y'all. Y'all know what Thursday is. Listen, I'm eating the kids' candy. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I couldn't resist it, so I apologize. You know what I mean? I can't resist the Jolly Ranchers. All right, it's the Jolly Ranchers for me, man. I can't resist them. So if y'all see me, you know what I mean, eating the Jolly Rancher, you know what it is. It's close to Halloween. Hope everybody is going to have a good holiday. I guess the poll question should be what's up with us as men? Me. I'm talking about me. This is the first day I felt like myself, well, probably about 70% of myself for like the last week or so, right? Since last Wednesday. So a little bit less than a week. I've been feeling a little out of it, having a little issues with my balance, all of that stuff, a little vertigo going on. Everything's been spinning, going crazy. So I'm glad I'm feeling better right now. I'm a little excited. I'm even able to sit up and talk to y'all. I've been laying in the bed, texting people with my eyes closed, but it is what it is, man. It's been good. But am I the only one like this, man? Please tell me I'm not the only one like this. Men, why are we like this? Why are we like this? Why do we know we sick? We know we need medicine or need to go to the doctors, but we just don't want to go. You know what I mean? Why do we do this to ourselves? You know, what I mean? I didn't take any medicine. I think I'm lying. I took 2 Tylenols the other day. Felt a little bit better, but I don't know, man. Am I the only one that do this? Y'all can let me know in the comments. Um, let me know. Am I the only one that does this? Um, Coach, what's going on, Coach? I'm gonna start bringing some of these in. I'm gonna put these in. I'm gonna set this up. Let me set these comments up so when they come in, we can make sure we got them all good, good, good. There we go. There we go. The flu going around. Listen, I didn't even I didn't even have the flu. Like it was not the flu. It was like, to be honest with you, it was vertigo. Like when I stood up, everything was spinning. When I laid down, it was worse laying down at times. Everything just spinning. When I kept my eyes closed, I was in the dark. I was good. The moment I got up to try to walk to the bathroom, I'm bouncing off the walls, trying to get myself together. Man, it was, listen, it was challenging, man. I'm not even going. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. It was challenging, but I got through it. I'm here today. Um, I just, my wife gets on me. She tell me I need to go to the doctors, but y'all know how we do. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna thug this thing out, man. We're gonna thug it out. Give me 2 Tylenols, I'll be good. Luckily, I didn't have much to do. I did the Glassboro game. I don't know how I got finished that game. I was doing the camera. I couldn't even talk. I didn't want to. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even want to be around people. You know what I mean? It wasn't any particular people. It just was people. I just needed quiet. I don't know how I got through it, but I got through it. But that was a good game too at Glassboro, Woodstown game. But yeah, man. Listen, it's something that I want y'all to do. I wanted to get into this. Let me see if I could do this. All right, let's go here. It's something I wanted y'all to do, man. I was kind of proud today, man. I watched. Go ahead, put it up. Let me see if I can get this up. I watched my son's YouTube page. So if y'all don't know, my son is in college. He plays football at Assumption University. His shirt that I have on right now. He's a defensive back. He's into his senior season. This year he wasn't able to play because he had shoulder surgery. So he's doing vlogs. The vlog he just dropped today. If y'all go look up his YouTube when I get done with y'all tonight after the coaches go watch his vlogs. Listen, he's giving some good insight on what it's like to be a college player. And then he's giving insight on what it's like to be a college player who's not able to play. So some of his vlogs started out from the first game when he wasn't able to travel to him now helping out in different ways with the team. So it was very interesting. And then at the end of the vlog, he kind of gave a personal side to what he's dealing with right now. It kind of caught me as a dad. You know what I'm saying? I caught it, and listen, it, we sometimes think these kids can deal with everything that they're going through, and they get older, and we kind of you know allow them to grow up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We let them kind of go off on their own, but hearing that, it kind of got to me a little bit. So if y'all don't have anything to do a little bit later, make sure y'all go check out that vlog. It's pretty cool, man. Some cameos from some guys from South Jersey area, Paul Six, different areas. So make sure y'all go check that out. But we're going to get back to it, man. So tonight's show is really really special for us, man. We got two coaches, both in their third seasons at the school that they're coaching at. We'll have first Coach Lucas on, and then he'll be followed by Bill Belton. Um, so should be a good show. But before we get to all of that, man, I want to say salute to Atlantic City High School. It's the first time hosting a playoff game in 12 years. Salute to Coach Wright, man. If you listen, 12 years is over a decade. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's it's one of those things that we kind of like look past and don't even think about, right? Atlantic City was down for a very long time. So for them to make the playoffs and to be hosting the playoffs, it's the first time hosting in 12 years. Fire. Fire. Oh man, thanks, Chris. Listen, I know I was out of it the other night, but listen, man, you held it down as well. But yeah, thanks for that. But yeah, man, Atlantic City, um, hosting the game. They'll be hosting Eastern on Friday. That should be a good game. I think they already played once this season, so you know they say it's hard to beat a team twice, so they're going to have their hands full. You know what I mean with that Eastern team, and then another team I want to give a shout out to is Oakcrest. It's their first division or league title since 1986. Let me say that again. It's their first division or league title since 1986. Salute Coach Foster. 1986 was the year that I moved to New Jersey. Dang, that's a long time. That's a long time ago. A very, very long time ago. 1986. So Coach Forrest, I'm sorry, Coach Forrest, salute to you, your coaching staff. You guys do a phenomenal job down there. Keep it going. You're one of the new young coaches in the area as well. So keep it going. Salute to you as well. So that's kind of crazy, man. that is kind of crazy to have both of those programs down in that very similar areas, close to each other, Maze Land and Atlantic City, starting to get some success with their programs. You love to see it. You know what I mean? Love to see the kids having fun and being productive. So once Coach Lucas comes in, we'll kind of get things going with his interview. So I want to go over something right now, man. Had this kind of set up. We're just going to go over some of these brackets really quick. Talk about some of these. Where did I put the brackets? Listen, listen. When you doing this, man. Listen, I think I put the brackets in here. I think I put the brackets in here. I think I did. So we're going. First of all, we're going to take a look at. Yeah, make sure y'all check out D2 Sports Network as well. Check out our website, d2sportsnetwork.com. Take a look at that. We got some new articles that came out this week. Some came out today. Make sure you take a look at that. But we're going to get into these brackets real quick. We're going to look at South Jersey Group 1. Let me know if y'all could see that on your screens. But the top two seeds, they go to two South Jersey teams, Glassboro and Woodstown. So the favorite coming out of here obviously will be Glassboro. And then if Glassboro were to win this, I'm not going to say Glassboro, but they're the favorite. They will play the two North, one of the two Norths winners out of their brackets. But some good teams in here. You got some good games this week. The one I'm looking at out of this group for this week is the Pennsville Burlington City game. That should be a pretty good game. It's a what's that 4-6 matchup or 4-5 matchup? Should be a really good game. So that's the one I'm looking at out of this. So in the comment section, man, let me know who y'all think is going to win the South Central bracket. Go ahead, throw your comments in. Let me know who y'all think is going to win out of Group 1. And then we're going to take a trip to Group 2. So Group 2, Camden and Rumson, Fairhaven are at the top. Rumson's always up there, man. They're a pretty good program. They've been doing it for some years. My son played at Timber Creek. They knocked us out of the playoffs. They one of those teams. They're like a thorn in our side, man. They're a thorn in our side. So thorn in our side. So that's a good bracket with Camden being a favorite. See this one right here. I'm not too sure about Johnson, but Wall Township, they're really good. They're another one. The game this week out of this group, I'm not even sure. I know we'll be at the Camden Middle Township game. We'll be broadcasting that game live, but I'm not sure about Delaware Valley. I'm not sure about Johnson, any of these schools. So I'm clueless when it comes to this group. Y'all can let me know who y'all think will win out of this group. Comment that in the comment section. Go ahead, comment, like, subscribe, share this thing out. Go and have a good time tonight, man. And then we're going to go to Group 3, Hopewell Valley. Woo! This is a tough one. You got the game this week will be the Timber Creek Seneca game. That should be a really good game. And then you got that Delsey and Burlington Township. That should be a really good game too. Burlington Township had a really good regular season. Delsey had an up and down regular season, but Delsey's been turning it on lately. They've gone back to their old, offense. So that's a very interesting game. You know what I mean? Did Delsey turn it around at the right time? That's the question. Did they turn it around at the right time? That's a question that we'll find out on Friday night when they play Burlington Township. I gotta get this mic on right. But and then where were we at? Where we at? That's Group 3. Let's see. Group 4. Winslow Millville. Excuse me. Winslow Millville at the top. You guys know Winslow will be the favorite. Already playing Winslow. I mean, playing Millville and winning that game kind of handedly. I think Winslow is the favorite to come out of this Group 4, but Group 4 seems to be pretty loaded. You got Mainland in there. Um, you have Central's pretty good. Brick Memorial, they're pretty good. Middletown, North, they're pretty decent. You know what I mean? It's some teams in there. The game this week will be Pensacola traveling to Manalapan. I don't know how to say it. I gotta work on it. I gotta practice that. Manalapan, I believe it is. They travel up there, so that'll be the game this week. Can Pensacola run game? Is that going to be enough? You know what I mean? Is that going to be enough? So we got to. Chris says, why? Let's make this bigger, Chris. I don't understand how Manalapan, blah blah pen. Sorry about that, y'all. Is seeded higher than Pensacola. I don't get it either. I thought Pensacola was going to get a home game, but they came up a little short, so they got to travel. But I think the run game with Pensacola, um, if they get it going early, where they can do some play action, things like that, where they're not forced to pass the ball, I think they'll be okay. They get in trouble when they're forced to pass the ball, but their run game could get going. It'll be a long day for now. Manalapan. Um, Mainland is in Group 3. Where? Yeah. Oh, hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm looking at this. I don't have my glasses. Oh yeah, I said Mainland. That's not Mainland. I apologize. They were in the Group 3 one. Let me go back and look at that. Let me pull that up so you can see it. Hold on. Where is it? Hold on. Did we put it on there? Did we get it wrong? Oh yeah. They're the 2 seed. I'm sorry. I apologize. I got that wrong. See, I'm looking on here. I can't see it. On my screen is smaller, so I apologize. I'm just looking at the word. Sorry about that. But let's go ahead to Group 5. Group 5 ball. Man, Toms River North and Township are the 1 and 2. RV. I'm sorry about that. Let me say this. They're the 1 and 2 one before they split. So with the split, Toms River North is the 1 and Township is the 1. And then at the 2, you have Rancocas Valley and Atlantic City. I kind of talked about Atlantic City having they'll be playing Eastern and Atlantic City, and RV has Edison. But I will say this: I think Kingsway is going to win. I think Kingsway is going to win this week, and I don't know. I was going to give y'all another one, but I think can Cherokee upset Old Bridge? That's the question. You know what I mean? Will Cherokee upset? Will they upset? Chris says Group 5 should be fun. Listen, there's some really good matchups, and that's what I'm looking at. Hillsboro. Um, I know a little bit about them. Can Cherokee pull out the upset? That's one of the questions. That's one of the questions. Can they pull that out? Group 5 does look fun. Briston has that. Briston got a tough. They got a tough one, man. They got to travel to Toms River North. That's a tough matchup for them, but we pulling for them, man. We definitely pulling for them. So I want to go ahead and get through some of these. So y'all let me know, man, which group which group do you guys like? So Chris says I like Cherry Hill East over Southern. Can see East pulling out. See, that's another game I was getting ready to say. I could definitely see them winning, right? So it is what it is. Hold on one second, y'all. I think I'm having a little. I want to make sure I'm good to go. I don't get. Hold on, I gotta send this link out. I apologize. I gotta send another link out uh, to coach. Y'all with me real time, man. This is what you get. This is what you get when you're live. I gotta send another one out. Oh, there we go. Hold on 1 second. But that's what you get. We live right now, but we're gonna get Coach Lucas up here real quick, and then we'll get to Coach Belton. I just want to make sure he gets this. I thought he got that. All right, so we'll get him up. Um, but so yeah, so that should be a good one with the Cherry Hill East one. Um, all right, y'all. Let me see. Group 4, tough group. I'm going through some of y'all comments. These are all going to be good games. So let me bring that one up real quick while we wait for Coach to come in. The Group 5. To be honest with you, I think North is going to be the favorite to that, but we'll see. We'll see how that all plans out, right? But it's going to be some interesting matchups. Um, you know, yeah, it's always going to be interesting. Hold on, guys. We're gonna get this thing started in 1 second. All right. I think we're ready now. Without further ado, I'm gonna bring up Coach Lucas. And then after Coach Lucas, stick around. We're gonna have Coach Belton jump on real quick. Should be a fun one. I'm working through the system. It's only my second time using it. So we gonna make it. We're gonna make it happen. Coach, how you doing?
Great to be here with you. We
All right.
appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Good. I'm glad I'm able to hear you. Last time I was on, I felt like I was muted, but it's one
No
of those.
worries.
I apologize too. I thought I sent you that link, but then I thought about it and it wasn't in there. But
No, you're good. I was paying attention and listening. I love it.
yeah, how's everything going? Congratulations on making the playoffs again. You guys get a 2 seat this year. Congratulations on that so far. Um, So I just wanted to go ahead and get started with it, Coach. It's your third year um, over at the program. Um, did you expect to have some of this success this early in your tenure there?
We thought that it would happen in a couple years. I mean, looking back, it was funny because a couple of the coaches we talked after practice today, and we just we talked about the bombs. I'll call it, whether they're on field, off field. Dealing with a variety of different things in that first year, just things you don't think that's going to happen. The fortunate thing is that I had a go round at Delran. It's just you
Mhm.
take that and you times it by 2 or 3 in terms of the amount of people that you're working with at a Group 5 school.
Right.
So that was kind of the foreseen things. The big thing was it was just learning how to practice and how to compete. That is the one big thing of trying to get everybody caught up to our standard of how we want things to be operated. And now you can see it. I mean, I'm talking the first day, and it's funny you bring this up. I still remember stretch lines. This would have been our first official practice. I kid you not, what the exact same thing we do took 24 minutes to accomplish. It takes us 3.5 minutes to stretch right now.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're in pre-practice. Once we blow the whistle for stretch, it's the duration of one song. You know what I mean? Whenever we're playing, like, and
Mhm.
it's so just figuring out everything. Learning personalities and whatnot. It's been huge. But honestly, the success, we didn't know what we could measure the success by, just knowing that the kids were going to become better. We knew that was going to happen each and every year.
Yeah, because I mean, for me, just seeing it all happen, right? I remember you as at Delran taking over. I'm like, man, that's a pretty good hire. But coming out to see you guys early at some of your scrimmages and things like that, I saw you kind of working through some of the early hiccups that you would have, I guess,
Oh
so to
yeah.
say. But
Yep.
you know, taking over, you guys wind up going 6-4 your first year. Then the second year, you guys go 8-3.
Yep.
Um, and then you come back in this season, and right now you're sitting at 7-2. But you know, the start of the season didn't start out like you will want to. I mean, we all were at the battle at the beach.
Oh yeah.
You guys took a tough loss at the battle at the beach against Pascal Valley. What did you guys do different after that game, and what did you see in that game that you knew you had to get better at?
Yeah, like Pascack, they were a team. They came down and to be honest, I think that we were a little full of ourselves. This is across the board. We had a really good summer. The thing it stinks. I'm a former offensive lineman, so for me,
Mhm,
I the 7-on-7 is necessary, but it's a necessary evil because it can build a false, identity, so to
mhm,
speak. So the entire summer, I think we lost 2 games in 7-on-7. And I mean, we played at Penn State, we played at Del Valle, we played down at West Defford. So if you're talking like over 50 to 60 games, only losing 2 of those games, everybody in our program is like, oh my God, we're going to be great. But the good thing was that we had 2 scrimmages, and I got to give a shout out to my man Mike at Oakcrest, and he's having a terrific season. You nailed it on the
yes.
head.
Mhm,
Uh, we went down there and they whooped us, and it couldn't have been better. Just to give a little reality check, I'm a strong believer. You want to get a good opponent that is going to do that to
mhm,
you at scrimmage, and we started out fast at Battle of the Beach. Our third play was a 71-yard rushing touchdown by Montre Wilson. So we're a big team of wanting to start fast. But then there were 4 minutes, and we talk about this correlating to practice. But
mhm,
in those 4 minutes, we had 2 turnovers that led to points, and that would have been the last 2 of the first half and the first 2 to start the half. So it's not finishing something and not starting something, coming out of halftime. So I think sometimes it everything works out the way it's intended to, but you
mhm,
need to go through growing pains, and just even with this season, nothing's going to be easy. Moving forward, even Edison, they have a couple kids that are absolutely phenomenal athletes.
mhm.
So it's not like it's like like we walked into school on Monday and they're like, oh yeah, you guys should be all right. Well, you turn the ball over 4 times and you start sluggish.
Yeah,
You're not going to be looking too good to win a football game. So
right.
it's about taking it down at one drive at a time, and our guys have been doing a really good job at doing that.
Yeah, you guys' season has been a really good season, but it's been like, to me, watching it as a fan, it's almost been like 2 seasons
Oh
within
yeah,
one,
feels
right?
like it.
So I'm watching you guys. Um, I'm watching you guys against Camden High, right? Coming into
Yeah,
that game, that's a game that I look at as a measuring stick. So certain games I look at when I'm kind of
sure.
like seeing how teams are, and I'm like, how are they going to adjust to the speed, right? So then you go through that game, and then after that, you guys go on a 4-game win streak. But what can't be lost in between those 2 games on
Yeah.
the upset against Washington Township
Yep.
and then the upset against St. Aug, I would think a lot of people had that looked at as an upset after seeing what happened at Camden. Again, you guys had to flip the switch and figure some things out, and you were able to do it because Township, they have some good players with speed as well. So,
Absolutely. Yeah.
what was the secret? You don't have to put the secret, but what was the ingredients for that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it sounds, it's back to the basics.
Mhm,
We just got back to the basics on everything. We were watching. We did a team camp with Holy Spirit, so we saw what they did against Camden, and I think that we tried like emulating that a little bit too much in terms of trying to bring the house all the time and
right.
blitz. Well, that's not us.
Mhm,
What we need to do is play sound defense and make sure our run fits are extremely good, making sure that we're squeezing and spilling, making sure that we're actually coming off the football and aligned in our gap. I mean, if you're 6 inches over, and our kids understand that now, that's the best part about it. When we were playing Shawnee, they brought in their freshman quarterback, and like a couple of my assistants were like, "My God, everyone's screaming, blitz, blitz, blitz!" But once you blitz, you're gapped out. If that person that's running whatever they're running, power, counter, stretch, and they get to the line of scrimmage, that instead of a 3-yard gain, that's a 7-yard gain. You know what I mean? So our defense is predicated on trying to eliminate the big touchdowns. And I think if you look throughout the entire season, I can count probably less than 5 times that we've given out like a true big explosive play, 50 plus or anything like that. If they take the ball and drive, I mean, that's what St. Augustine, hats off to them. They switched it up and went Wildcat, and they were chunking us, 5, 6, 7. But that's going to require patience. You have to be a very patient person to sit there and just say, hey, we're going to do this. We're going to do it again. We're going to do it again. We're going to do it again. And, fortunately, our kids rose up to each task, and, they were excited about it. They really were.
All right, Coach. We got a question that just came in from Chris Baker. He's basically saying, with a majority of your playmakers right now, they were there when you first got there as rotational guys. What has been the biggest factor to their maturity and their production?
I would honestly say natural development, not getting a random kid that's coming in. I'm going to use a guy like Brody Diter. Brody's having this season, and we always knew he could. It was trying to get the rest of South Jersey and even New Jersey to understand the type of athlete he is. The way that he blocks downfield, in my opinion, is unlike any other receiver. That's the one thing that truly stands out from him to anybody else. If you look at some of our plays, Montre Wilson himself, Devin Dewana, those are 3. I think that they have a very unique bond because you'll see the way that they fight for each other as brothers. Whether it's on a screen or just once somebody catches the ball last week, Devin Dewana caught a huge 4th down play, and you see Brody stick his foot in the ground and drive a kid 5 yards back, pancake him. That's different because you're building that toughness into you at the skill position level. You know what I mean? So just to see these guys, our whole entire offensive line were our JV team the last 2 years. So they were kids that they never complained. They're not, moaning or anything like that they just showed up every single day and essentially waited for their turn. They, some of these guys didn't miss workouts in the off season. That's kind of been the key ingredient is what we do in the off season. And by all means, we don't have big bruiser guys that can squat 500 pounds. We got good kids that they listen to, our O-line coach, Dan Harris. He's our offense coordinator, does a fantastic job with these guys. And then just our coaching staff in general, we really focus on trying to develop each day and kind of even the steps with that in terms of when we get in the summer, we're going to visually show them it. All right, they're going to see it maybe even on paper. Pre-practice, we'll walk through it. Then when we get to individual, we'll rep the skill behind it. Then we'll get to the inside run period or the passing period, and then we'll get the team and put it all together. After practice, we'll go right back in and watch it and perfect it, correct it, and move on to the next one on the next day. So it's just that natural progression, but you have to want to chase the reps and actually get better.
Yeah, that's something that everybody kind of envisions on making it happen. Very few are able to actually implement it into their programs. The one that do, they're always the ones that succeed. And you could tell we bounce around a lot. You obviously over 80 something teams that we get to go out and see. And that's one thing that we get to see. We could tell a well-coached team within the first couple of plays. We can tell who's having an off day or if it's something that they're not coaching. So with that being said, like your coaching staff, you just spoke to it briefly. How instrumental are they in your success?
They're huge. Just first, I got to shout out to both my coordinators, Mike Wallace and Dan Harris. Mike, he's 69 years old, retired chief of police from Cinnaminson. He came with me over from Delran, so he's been instrumental in terms of defense. But even as a young coach for myself, to have a 69, I mean, he's been doing this way longer than I've been born. So it just he's a great coach. The kids love him. After every win, we've got a couple of our guys. They show him a new dance move on TikTok or whatever. But then Dan Harris, he's another one. We completely revamped and changed our offense. Kept the schemes relatively the same, but it's the window dressing that everybody sees. Just a couple different principles that he added into the mix to just to make us a little bit more explosive this year. But he's had fun with it, and it goes down to our position coaches, our wide receivers coach, our DBs coach, special teams coach. We have a lot of coaches. We have about 14 to 15. That's the blessing at a big school like this. So like Coach Haverstick, Coach DuBois, Coach Osborne, Coach Brown, Flood. Like the list goes on and on. So I know if somebody's watching and I missed them, my bad.
So, Coach, I always try to implement some of the fan questions as well, people who are watching.
Sure.
Another question that just came in real quick was, what has been your favorite game since you've been at RV?
Look at this, Tyrese Downing right here. I'll tell you what, one of my favorite players, that's him right there. So this kid went from not playing, playing strictly JV, to then starting his senior season last year for us and being instrumental in helping to flip this entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's starting at Del Val, which is an amazing D3 program as a true at left tackle. So it was, hey, how's camp? I remember camp, and even as a father, camp is you might get a phone call one night saying
I'm ready to come home.
Right? So, I'm like, just get through the first week. Don't call me. Then let's see how you do. He's like, Coach, no, I'm third string. I'm boom, second string. Then it's like, oh crap. Yeah, I'm the guy. I'm starting this week. So just a player like that, that's why we do it. It's the development. This kid, he's a rock star. But Tyrese, his question was, what was my favorite game so far? Gosh dang. It's really hard. I've mixed feelings. I would say the very first game at RV is extremely special just because it was packed every time we scored. We played Williamstown that night. We ran trap 9 times with Malachi Castle, who is in college now, but he had 100 yards rushing that night. But they were launching fireworks and everything. It's so hard. Playing at Rancocas Valley to me is one of the coolest things ever. It's packed. We kind of tag it and call it the Valley, and this year we've been doing very well there. Our fans, they bring the juice. So I'd say any game in the Valley is a great day.
And Coach, I just wanted to ask you too. Watching you guys on social media, social platforms, how important is that to you? You seem like you're adjusting to, I call it the microwave era. Kids want everything. They want everything now.
I tell you what, it's a pain in the butt. I don't even use my personal Instagram anymore. I just said, I have an amazing wife, two great little boys. They're 4 and 2. So, when I'm home, I am home with them. But these dang things, they're all day, every day, baby. Unfortunately, but it's a good thing too, because it helps us stay connected with our guys. We will figure out. At first, we're figuring out what kids are doing things that they shouldn't be, and that helps us as coaches. But then we learn who they are, and even some of their interests and whatnot. But then the big ones for recruiting, obviously, Twitter's huge for recruiting, but then just sharing what our guys are doing. That if you genuinely spend the time that we do, and many other programs, they spend just as much, maybe even more than us, but you're gonna love who you're around with, and if you don't, then you probably shouldn't be there. And that's something that we talked about today, was just the true aspect of being a family, and that's caring about what everybody's doing in their life. So you want to share it, you want to broadcast that out for the guys, and just make sure that they even get the best experience possible within the 4 years that they are in high school. Because honestly, sometimes they could have a better 4 years in high school, and then they get to college and they're like, hold up, we're kind of doing things up here, and now we're here or even higher. So it's just a unique perspective.
That's for sure. So, Coach, coming up this week, you guys have Edison coming into your house.
Yep.
What are some of the things that they do well that you see on film that you guys have to make sure that you get control of early?
Yeah, they definitely have an extremely talented running back. This kid's been at it for a couple years. I remember watching them versus Lenape a couple years ago, and he did some nice things. So he's a kid that you don't want him to have the ball a lot, but they're going to feed him the ball as they should. So ultimately, it's just eliminating the explosive play. If we eliminate the explosive play and take care of the ball, I know that sounds two different things, but something a little bit different that we do. We like to say that we have an area code. This is something that our defense coordinator brought upon. But our area code on defense is 959. So that
Mhm.
means we want to have when you freeze it at the end of a play, you want to have 9 guys within 5 yards of the football 90% of the time. So what that means is are we pursuing to the football? So if you freeze that at the end of it, if you have 4 guys back, it's not good. When you see 11 white helmets, and that's what was happening even last week or even against St. Augustine, where some people might kind of freeze up a little bit and say, whoa, this Navy commit is running full steam. But then if you get 11 hats, so to speak, we're only asking for 9 of them, so that
Mhm.
959, you're going to be pretty successful whenever you do that.
Mhm. So I'm not going to hold you too much longer. I don't want you to give away
Oh,
any of the
you're
secrets, um,
all good.
because I got some questions. But um, one of the last questions I was going to ask you, like, what does a game day look like for you? Friday. I,
I like
I hate to say this, but when I was in high school many moons ago, we would leave high school a little bit early with or without permission. I know kids do not do
Sure.
this right now. It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Our game day thing was we used to go to a buddy's house and we used to watch the program. That
Yeah.
was our get hype music. But what does Coach Lucas do on game day?
Well, I'll tell you what. So obviously, I'm a teacher. I'm a history teacher at the school. So my day is pretty simple. I'll teach my classes, and I'm never like whatever I have curriculum wise. I just keep it rolling. That never will
Hmm.
change. But then once I'm done, I have to work out. That's the big one. If you're around the school, I'm either going for a run or lifting, just pumping some weights. Because that's where it's like I need to get a sweat, get after it a little bit, and then I personally like it. I will print out all of our sheets and start, laminating it. And actually, my wife works in the building, so she's a huge help. Shout out, Mrs. Lucas, to helping, prepare just our game day stuff, just to go over it one more time. But then after school, we actually have a pretty strict, regiment now of what we do with the kids. Like this Friday, I know we're going to be eating at 3 o'clock, so the kids get out at 2:27. We eat at 3 o'clock. We'll transition and actually do a special teams walkthrough on the field at 3:20, followed by 3:40 is going to be our full team meeting, in our like little, locker room area. So that's where we'll go over offensive game plan one more time, defensive game plan, special teams. It could be showing them a couple clips or anything like that. And then our specialists, they'll go get taping and treatment, for about 35 minutes. And then we'll take the field at 4:40 for specialists. The whole team gets on at 5:05.
Man, that's a really good day. I'm gonna tell you, man, my nerves, the way my anxiety works, it
Oh
is
yeah.
no way that I could teach a class on game day.
Nah,
Listen, we doing crossword puzzles or something. I'm focused. I don't know
the
if I
that
could do it.
you got to try to align it where everything is it gives you some freedom to do some of those things. But I mean, I got a lot of absolutely great students, and they just do a terrific job. And that's the thing that I love too. I teach a sports and history class, and I'm
Mhm,
from Pittsburgh. So today we just spent a good chunk of time learning the history of the song Renegade that the Steelers play going into the fourth
mhm.
quarter, and everything like that. I'm going over the clips of like Ben Roethlisberger and Troy Polamalu, and you know what I mean. I'm like, not to use a line of Jim Harbaugh, but he's always like, "Who has it better than us?" I'll tell the class that I'm like, "This is what you guys are learning at 8 o'clock in the morning. Who has it better than you? Nobody."
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. All right, Coach Lucas, I want to thank you for coming on. Give me a couple minutes of your day. I know it's one of those things where you're going into game week, it's playoffs, the seasons on the line, all those things. So I don't want to hold you too much, but I did want to give you the opportunity to get on, let people see who you are, see your personality a little bit, and maybe they could get out and support you guys this week as you guys take on Edison. So good luck this weekend, Coach.
We appreciate it. I got to give a shout out real quick to Coach Nick down at Millville. He's one of our former coaches. He's doing a terrific job down there with the Thunderbolts. But then our quarterback, we got to give Savion Adams a little shout out with the love of guys. He's having a terrific season. And it's been fun to watch him in terms of development from last year to this year. I mean, it's all.
I was going to ask you that. What was he the quarterback last year, or he was a receiver last year, right?
He was. So get this, he moves in 3 days before the start of actual camp in August. So he moved in from Seattle, Washington, but he's originally from here. He has a long history of people, family members that are connected with RV, and honestly, bless the Lord that he came. We noticed his arm talent. I mean, he threw a couple trick plays last year, but there was one that stuck out where he hit Brody and it was effortlessly on the run, 70 yards in the air. We're like, have you been able to do this? Now, it was learning the off. I mean, you know how it is. If you're a couple days before camp, you're so crunched, and playing week 0, 2 weeks to really prepare for it. Yeah. So he wasn't. I mean, looking back, it's like, wow, we're fools. But it's just his growth and development each week has been awesome to see. He's getting so much better each and every day, and that's a huge credit to him. And he earned his first D1 offer ironically last Friday from Temple in the morning.
Oh, no, that's really good, because he was one of the guys that stood out to us the first game we saw him, and then we saw him 2 other games, and guys in our group chat were kind of texting about him. You guys have a couple of guys out there that are doing really well, and yeah, I can see them playing at the next level as well.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. A lot of younger players, just that are very talented but extremely coachable. That's been we're starting a true freshman at defensive end. Which to me is very rare. Especially at a Group 5 school. But then we have another sophomore at defense. But these two, I mean, they have been just phenomenal in terms of being coachable. The hard coaching that they've gotten early on, a lot of kids would have probably been like, maybe football's not for me. But they come back, they want more. And that's why they're getting better, and their stock's been on the rise. Since day one.
I wanted to say something, because I said something the other day on social media. A lot of kids, they come in, they expect to start right away as a freshman. Being a Group 5 school, and even in my day, it wasn't, your day, you may speak of it too, but it wasn't too many freshmen that came in and started right away.
Not one bit.
You got to be a special type of guy to be a starter as a freshman.
Yeah, I mean, just even from a maturity standpoint, physicality, like you're talking strength, because you're going up against 17, 18-year-olds that have 3 to 4 years of legitimate lifting. Like that's the hardest part about it. Like, if you break that down, and unfortunately, a lot of coaches are put in hard spots, and I can see it in other schools. But if a kid doesn't start or get his, then he's at another school or things like that. So that's where it's nice to just have a core group of guys that just want to get better, and they just keep on coming back. They don't miss lifting. That's, to see the natural development in the kids. It's not a shocker, because, they're homegrown kids and they want to be there and, be here for a while. So it's pretty unique.
Yeah. So most definitely, Coach, we definitely going to keep an eye out for y'all coming
Appreciate
up.
You guys.
What do they say? Forks up?
Works up, baby.
All right, Coach. Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right. Awesome. Appreciate you guys. Take care.
All right. That was Coach Garrett Lucas. Listen, we're working. We got another one coming in. Sorry about that. We got another guest that we're going to bring in for a second, but it's been pretty cool to bring Coach Lucas in, man. I've been watching him the last couple years. He's always opened up his program, allowed us to come in and film and, talk to the players, different things like that. He's very welcoming. So, I always try to make sure that we can get guys on that will definitely, allow, us to broadcast them and their players. So next up, guys, we're going to bring up Coach Bill Belton, guys. Coach Bill, you there? How you doing, Bill?
Hey, what's up, Rob?
What's going on, man? Listen, you know we have the banter, guys watching. We have banter back and forth. Coach Belton played at Penn State, and I'm a diehard Ohio State fan. I was born on the campus of Ohio State. Cousins, family played there, so it's a long history. So we have that banter. But this year, I can't say nothing, man. Penn State going crazy.
Yeah.
They're going crazy. But Bill, how's everything been, man, with your preparation this week leading up to your playoff game?
Everything's been good. The kids have been locked in, after our last game in the regular season, and they're ready to go. They're ready to get this playoff run going, and they've been extremely focused this week.
Yeah, Bill, I gotta start off with this, man. Um, I have to commend you. I got to give you like a big salute. You know, the first game of the season, we all know what happened with some ejections, certain things were going on. The way you guys stood up and weathered that storm to get to this point has been absolutely remarkable. And that shows the strength of a coaching staff, and that shows that you guys do have disciplined players, and you have players that are smart. Um, like knowing where you were, like how did you guys address that not address the situation, but how did you guys address the players to get them to the points that you guys are now and you're ready to roll into the playoffs?
To be honest, it just all comes down to leadership from the coaches, from the people in the building that support us, and the captains on the team. I think we all, had a moment where we met as a team. We met with administration. We met as a staff. There were so many people involved in the process, and it was one of those things where everyone involved just understood the goal at hand and what's at stake and the type of team that we have. So, we just wanted to come back and just understand that we don't have any room for error.
Mhm.
We are who we are. We're going to get, everybody's best shot every week. Everyone's going to take shots at us. Let's just hone in on what's important and keeping the main thing, and that's just going out there and playing football.
Yeah, and you guys have been doing that every game. You've been getting better and better. From what I've been able to see, the first game, a lot of, I'm in the stands. We on social media. We all see some of the stuff. People questioning how good are they when the media and certain people are saying that you guys are going to be one of the better teams out this year. So just week by week, that progression of getting better from everything from your running backs, your quarterbacks, and also your defense and offensive line. Um, we all know, the playmakers. We know the Cam Millers. We know the Heltons. We know those guys, the Duckets. The Ali's. You guys have a lot of playmakers on that team. But for me, seeing you guys, and I said this to you before. The one area that I always watch with a keen eye is that offensive line. And what you guys have done this year with that offensive line, those guys have protected your quarterback. They've given you guys room to run. Um, what went into the offseason and preparation to get those guys ready for where they are right now? It's a big difference.
To be honest, is like if I'm being 100% honest, is having a line coach.
Mm,
Last year we won a sectional without a line coach. Um, I'm coaching offensive line and another position group, but we had certain things lined up a certain way just because at the time we couldn't get somebody in, and
hmm
it was a hole on our staff, and we were able to fill that hole this year. Um, and then as far as the off season, I tell people all the time, like the game that we lost last year was the biggest thing that we needed. And seeing that type of team and seeing how they come out and play week in and week out, how they prepared over the past however months to get ready for the season, and they changed the whole course of our team. Um, and we just went from there. I think, Devin Robinson is doing a great job with our offensive line. He played at Winslow, and then played at Youngstown State. So, I mean, we got a bunch of guys with experience that do a great job with our kids, and our kids respond to that.
Man, I didn't expect that. I thought you guys had a coach, offensive line coach. So that speaks volumes, that you guys were able to, get somebody in, because I'm telling you, we could tell, your front offensive line, and also your defensive line, your front seven is, probably the unsung hero of the team. Your back end is really good. I'm not taking anything away from the guys on the back end, but when you have the back end matching with the front end of the defense, you guys are able to hold teams to, you know, tough games. And who's been the callous to lead that defensive line and that charge? We talk about every week, on Mark's show, about that defensive line and that front seven.
To be honest with you, it's a combination of the backers and the defensive line. I think, for starters, Asar Hurd plays a big part in what we do in the box, just from getting us lined up, and things of that nature. And then once you look at the other linebackers, you have Josiah Bullock that's playing extremely well. You have Namir Tucker that's playing extremely well. He played some nickel for us last year and played some defense end as well. And then once you go to the defensive line, I think the unsung hero of the defensive line is Sean Luke. He didn't play a bunch of football for us the past couple of years since I've been there, but this year he has really, stepped up and made a lot of improvements in the weight room, in the wintertime, and it's been productive. And then obviously you got guys like Benji Carter, Rob Karstarfin, Malachi Brown, Caden Gray, guys that are all coming in and making plays for us, and they're having fun doing it. But to be honest with you, and I've been saying it since he's arrived here, Miles Nash is the biggest reason why we're in the situation that we're in. His knowledge of the game, the way he coaches our kids, and the standard that he holds them to allows us to be the defense that we want to be.
Man, you speak of Miles Nash. Miles, we spoke last year, and he told me, as well, that you guys kind of needed that last year, to go through that a little bit, and it kind of changed, some of his focus and some of the things that you guys were going to do in the off season. Just seeing how, it was mainland at the time, like how thick they were, how they were able to move guys around. So it kind of changed his mindset on things. But for you, coming in, being a young coach, um, what did Miles like display to you to have trust in him to bring in another coach? Because a lot of times coaches who are on the younger side of the coaching tree, and it's their first stint there, they tend to lean on guys who are a little older, a little seasoned, some guys who've been somewhere else before that they're bringing in. So what has he shown? To what did he show at the time to make you make that decision?
I think the one thing that people forget in the midst of us being young coaches is that we played for really good coaches when we are in college. We had access to information that not everybody has access to. So we've been coached a certain way and programmed a certain way. And then, to be honest with you, Miles was a GA at Rutgers prior to coming back to coaching. So like he had his own position group there and working with the kids. So technically, I got a college coach on my staff. He just happens to be young, but he's really good at what he does.
I mean,
So I tell
my bad. You got a couple of those guys that have that similar makeup on staff as well.
Yeah, and that was the goal for me. I think I wanted to just going from year one to where we are now. I wanted to get around people that I had a great relationship with. Everybody on staff, for the most part, I either played against or we had a relationship outside of football, and they care about the game the same way that I do. And ultimately, it's all working out. You can see that amongst the staff. I mean, at the end of the day, we're literally all competitors and all friends. So that's why it's working the way it is.
Yeah, and one other thing that you guys have, we spoke about the talent, is a knowledge of how to coach the talent. Oftentimes, coaches, they get a plethora of talent. They may not even know how to utilize those players that they have, and to keep everybody happy, and all the stuff that goes along with it. Right? We sometimes we hear the noise from the parents, "Give my son the ball." This, all of that stuff. You guys have been able to have a scheme and a system that allows players to have opportunities. Um, as a coach, seeing that, what goes into those decisions that are being made about, what type of system, how we're going to play the talent that you have.
I mean, the first thing for us is we tell everybody to, celebrate their teammates. Any night can be your night, just with the roster we have. And we're not solely focused on, all right, well, this person needs this amount of carries or, this amount of touches. It's just primarily based off of matchups. Wherever the matchups are, that's where we're going to live and die at. And, our guys have been stepping up to the plate and, making the plays when it's their turn. And, I've been extremely happy with, how they've been playing this year, and we
Mhm.
just got to keep it rolling. So that's the biggest thing that we've done this year.
Yeah, and you guys have done a really good job too of balancing out the noise. After the Millville game, that was a big game. Sometimes we see guys or teams come out of that game and have a down game, or right after that, because that game was so big, the magnitude of that game. What have you guys been, saying to your players, or talking to? How have you been talking to your players to keep them from um, taking in too much of that and thinking they're bigger than what they are, or they're bigger than what the moment is right now? Because that's a key. That's a key.
Yeah, I mean, it all comes back to our staff. Like
Hmm.
you're dealing with, and you're dealing with people that have won as players, that won several championships, that went off to college and played in big games and all of that stuff. So for us, it's just, another game, just another night. It's just one out of, nine or one out of eight. And letting our kids know that it's a week to week thing. Like, just because you're hot now doesn't mean you're going to be hot, next week. And another thing that we do is, if we're supposed to be the team that everyone thinks that we are, you got to show up every week. And you're going to get everybody's best shot, as I stated before. And if you don't show up, none of this stuff is going to matter. So I got a job to do. They got a job to do. And, that's all we've been doing, is keeping them focused on, whether it's the next practice or the next game. They've been locked into what we've been preaching. So it's been good for us.
All right, so you guys are getting ready for Princeton this week, I believe.
Mhm.
What do you see on tape from them that you guys have to kind of, keep in check?
They're a spread team. They do some good things. They're very multiple on offense, under the center, doing different stuff. And then defensively, I think for them, they do a lot of different things in coverage to kind of confuse some teams. I think they won a few games this year, and they play very well on both sides of the ball. So I think for us, it's just coming out and, like I said before, being the team that we're supposed to be, and
Hmm.
executing on, in all phases of the game, actually.
Yeah, this is a game that I'm looking forward to. We've been trying to get back out to see y'all again, but getting that top seed, everything goes through you guys. You'll have that opportunity back at home. I think it'll be the second year in a row that that the playoffs come through Winslow, I believe.
It was Millville had the top seed last year.
That's who it was. Yep, you're absolutely right. I had the games mixed up. Um,
Mm.
so having that home field advantage, how important was that for you guys this season? Once you guys kind of start looking at some of the things and saying, "Yo, we can have everything come through here."
Uh, if I remember correctly, I think the first year that happened was Kenny Scott was the head coach,
Hmm.
and I was just the OC at the time, and we were fortunate enough to have a really good year that year, and the playoffs pretty much came through there, and then we ended up playing Millville Records that year, and ever since then, in my mind, I'm like, man, I don't want to travel. Like, I don't. I'd rather play at home and go about things, the way that we go about things. And ever since then, we pretty much myself, and then as our staff began to build. Since then, we kind of looked at it like, let's take care of business in the season so we can have everything come through here.
Yeah, that's a good mindset to have because I don't like traveling either. It just to me when you have to travel, it kind of shakes up everything that you normally do. I just
But
spoke to we just were talking to Coach Lucas, and he was talking about the kids eating and all of that stuff. That stuff is very important. So for you guys to have everybody who wants to win in that group have to come through you guys until you guys head up to Rutgers to play the winner of the North 1 and 2. That's a big time deal for you guys. But just coming along, talking to some of the players, talking to some of the parents, just in passing. One thing that they do notice and they do respect you for is keeping everything real with them. We're in the day and age. We talked about the microwave era where everybody wants to be the guy, right? And one thing that you're good at, and you spoke about it earlier about the guys, the coaching staff, and stuff that you guys have, and the people that are around. When it comes to parents and some of the players who want that to be the guy right now, what's some of the advice you could give some of these young guys coming into high school as a freshman, wanting to be that guy but having to wait their turn?
well, I mean, I draw back from my experience.
Mhm.
The other coaches do too. I know Miles played at Timber Creek, Kareem, Ali played at Timber Creek. I know from myself though, when I came into high school, I had Khalil Glaude on my team, Brandon Jones on my team, Damon Julian, Reuben Johnson. These guys are all seniors going, Power Five at the time, and I felt like, coming in from eighth grade, I'm pretty good, and just having to get up and work every day and compete with those guys every day made me a better player.
Mhm.
So I'll draw back to those experiences, and then obviously when you get to college, everybody's good. So you can't sit here and complain about not playing or anything like that. You just got to get up and work. And I tell the kids all the time, you pretty much eat what you kill around here. If you don't work, you don't eat. And that's how it's been working. And guys got to show up and be competitive every day in practice, and it's been very, very good for us. So that's the biggest thing that we've been preaching to our kids, and the parents understand that. Like, we all been somewhere. We have a former All American on our team. There's not anything that we haven't seen talent wise, so we know what it looks like. And if a kid isn't there yet, we're going to do our best to develop them and get them to a point where they can be successful on the field and not rush them out there.
That's key. I hope people listen, man. That development and working towards something. You've always been, a guy that I kind of leaned on with your time at Timber Creek when you coached my son too. Just picking your brain, getting a little bit of advice. In this climate of transfer portal, um, all the stuff that goes on college wise, you have guys that are getting ready to exit college to college this season. Um, True words that you speak to them. Y'all have guys that, like you said, that have been All Americans, guys that have played at Temple, Penn State, Rutgers. I mean, you guys have some, and even Drew that helps out as well. He played at Merrimack, so you guys have guys who have college experience, talent, and have seen talent. So, guys that are getting ready to exit out, like, what do you got? Are you kind of telling them? I'm gonna tell you how I am. This is why I'm asking the question, because I usually tell kids like, "Look, man, you ain't gonna get away with that at college, right? So we trying to, correct these habits right now, so when you get to college, you won't have to worry about that." So, advice to guys that are getting ready to head off to college that may have finished their high school careers, um, as far as the expectation um, entering college.
If it, to be honest with you, if it's one of our guys, I just tell them, you know what you came from, and what you're going to is going to be 2 times of this. We coach
Mhm.
our players very, very hard. Um, we do things in a way that kind of prepares them for that. But if it's another player, leaving high school and going to college, they just got to understand that this is all business here, and this is how people feed their family. And if you can't help somebody feed their family, at this point, you're going to be a liability. That may sound very, very cruel, but this is $1 million business. And, those people up there that are working and, missing their son's baseball games and stuff like that to coach you, there's a lot on the line for them. So you got to make sure that, one, you're representing the name on the front of the uniform and the back as well. So there's a lot of people that are counting on, those kids to be, great athletes in their family. And I always tell them, just, go out there and do something that's going to make your family proud and make you proud as well. So, with anything in life, you're going to have to work, and that's all it comes back to. If you want to have the life that you want to have, you got to put the work in for it. If you want to be, have an average life, then have an average, work ethic. Whatever you want to do, it's going to come back to you. So you gotta apply yourself and go for everything that you want.
Man, I'm clipping that part and putting it out, Bill. I'm telling you because that's one of the things that I think people forget, especially some of these younger players. They think they're just going to college and they're just going to play right away, and they don't understand the business side of it. And I had to explain that to my own kid. Is listen, man, you going somewhere. Let's say this coach is making $200,000 a year. You got to make him want to trust you. You know what I'm saying? He's just not going to trust you just because I seen him play. It is what it is. It's a business, and that what you just said was key. That like,
Yeah. Another thing that and I don't mean to cut you off. Another thing that I'll add to is just like, at the end of the day, like with college, like the goal for high school athletes is to get to college, right? Once you get there, it's not over. This is just the beginning of what you're going into. A lot of times you see kids, be the man at where they are, and then when they get to college, they feel like they arrived and everything dwindles. But it's really just the start of your next chapter, and you got to go into it with the right mindset.
mm, yeah. I hope y'all listening. Hope y'all listening. Bill, man, I want to thank you. I'm not going to keep you on for long. My very last question is, what is your preparation like during, game day? What are some things that you do to kind of get focused and locked in on the upcoming game?
Game day for us will vary. I mean, we're playing on Saturdays now, um, so we get in pretty early. We'll kick off at 1 o'clock. But the coaches will get there around like 7:30. We'll have the players arrive. I mean, we'll eat breakfast and all that stuff. But right after breakfast, we'll get into our team meetings and kind
Mhm.
of go through the game plan and things that we want to attack and make sure our kids are properly prepared for the game. Um, and then we have our walkthroughs, and specialists go out and pregame stuff just like anybody else does. But for myself, it's just that, and then before we get together as a team, I always try to find some time for myself where I can kind of pray, get myself together. I always talk to my mom before the games, and she sends me a prayer all the time. And I kind of center myself and get myself ready to go, and then go from there.
Yeah, I asked that question because everybody game day ritual is a little bit different. When I was younger doing baseball, I used to take out the green M&Ms on game day. I could only eat green because that meant
Mhm.
go. I couldn't eat none of the red ones. It was I don't know where that came from, but I just used to eat green M&Ms. But I kind of like
Superstition.
yeah, that was it. And basketball, my I had these um North Carolina Tar Heel shorts that I got when I saw them play, and they were from um I don't know how I got them, but I don't know, it could have been a lie. Parents could have lied to me that they was from George Lynch. All that, you know how that go. Hey,
Right.
so I used to wear those under my shorts too. So I was into the superstitious stuff. So, But I like to kind of hear what coaches go through. So, what's your go-to song in that time? You need one song that you got to listen to before a game. What we listening to, Bill?
Ooh, I got. I'm gonna be honest with you. I got a little playlist I put together. Marcus Upton asked me for my playlist, so I know it's a good playlist. So I got a wide variety of people. I got Meek on there, um, Lil Durk on there, Rilo, all the stuff that the kids listen to. I'm young, so like I got the same ear for music. I don't listen to a lot of old stuff, and yeah, I be turning with my kids. I try to have fun with them, and we all fun. You know, we all have fun for the most part. As Jordan Nash would say, we're young and turned. So
As you should be, man. Bill, congratulations on your 8-0 season. You guys have done a phenomenal job, kind of, keeping things on track and going. Winslow has a plethora of young guys. One question I want to get to you too. You spoke of Marcus Upton. Um, how instrumental has he been to that back end of the defense and just to the program in general? It's a guy that comes in with, a lot of football knowledge, comes from a good family as well. But how instrumental has he been to the program?
um, I- if I to be honest with you, Marcus changed our whole back end. Like
Hmm.
his personality is one that people gravitate to. He brings a lot of swagger to our defense. Like the first time he got out on the field and started playing, everything changed for us from the back end. And our guys feed off of him. Obviously, offensively, he's doing a great job too. He can do a lot of great things, and
Hmm.
he's just brought a different energy to our program. And I'm happy that he's with us, and you know, um, I hope he keeps doing what he's doing because he's putting us in a great position. And I got nothing but great things to say about Marcus. So
Hmm.
we're not done yet. So I'm pretty sure he'll have more, great games and interceptions, tackles, touchdowns, and all that stuff. So he just has to keep doing what he does, and we'll go from there.
You know what's funny? I didn't even realize Marcus is who he was when I first was introduced to him when he was a youngin at GT. He was playing running back. So seeing him now, 6 foot, big kid, you
Mm-hmm.
got to understand when we leave or when our kids leave out of high school and midgets and certain things, we kind of tend to travel with them. So I've been away
Right.
from for about 4 years. I come back, I see this kid. I'm like, who is this dude? To
Yeah.
see him now playing safety as well as he's playing is like, whoa, that was a kid running the ball. So,
Mhm.
I just had to ask that. And then you guys obviously Boomer and Cam, those guys seem to be your anchors when you need a big play. Those are the guys that kind of, help you guys out with that. So you guys are, man, you guys are primed and loaded. I was getting killed. I would say this. I was getting killed. I was getting killed. We were telling everybody to put you guys number one, and we were getting killed. Myself and Kevin Emmons, um,
Mhm.
we were getting killed. Why? I don't understand it, but now everybody understands. They understand. so I,
Hey, hey, I appreciate it though. I appreciate it. I mean, for me, I rather work for it. I think we did, and we just gotta keep going. I like that stuff. I'm gonna just
Mhm,
say that. So
mhm.
it keeps us going, keeps us motivated, and if they don't think we are where we are, then that's fine.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Bill, man. I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna let you get back to the family. I'm about to do the same. Got to get ready for trick or treating.
Hmm.
You doing trick or treating this year? You dressing up?
I'm not dressing up. So my girl told me we're gonna have movie night here. We actually took my son to Sesame Place on Sunday. He was dressed up as a minion, so
Okay.
we're gonna have movie night here. Kind of make pizzas as a family and watch the new Minion movie. So
I'm in the same boat. I can't dress up, man. I can't, but I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna enjoy the holidays or whatever. But man, congratulations. We're gonna definitely try to get out to see you guys and cover you guys. Anything you guys need from us, just let us know. You guys have always welcomed us in and helped us out, even even when things weren't going right, man, you guys have always been there. So I want to thank you and your whole coaching staff. Salute to the Winslow players too. They're very respectable kids. So, we're gonna be there pulling for them this season.
I definitely appreciate it. You're always welcome at Winslow. You know that.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Bill.
Yep, no problem.
All right, guys, that's Bill Belton. I want to thank him for tuning in, coming in, having a conversation with us. As y'all know, I'm a little different, man. I don't know why I messed it up for the second time. I got to get this system so this thing be humming. But I want to thank Bill, Coach Garrett Lucas, everybody that's tuned in. I'm a little different. I like to have real life conversations with coaches. I think sometimes after games they get hit with interviews and they have to be, so serious. So sometimes I try to pull that fun out of them, so you guys could get to see who they are with their personalities, and as well as mine. Y'all don't get to see or talk to me all the time, but yeah, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. Big week coming up. We'll be getting into the private school or parochial school brackets next week. We'll see, where St. Aug and Paul Six, Camden Catholic, all of those teams will be playing this year in the playoffs. I can't wait for that as well. So we'll be getting out this week. Make sure y'all get out and support these kids, man. Make sure y'all tap in, like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube. Join the fun, join the action, and just have fun with us, man. We'll be back next Tuesday night with another one. Make sure y'all tune in tomorrow night. We'll be on right here on D2 Sports Network YouTube, and we'll be on Facebook at Glory Days Magazine. So join the fun, join the action. We coming down the stretch road to the championship. Who's going to pull it out, man? Group 1 through 5. Who do you guys have as the favorites? Go ahead and comment down below. If you get it right, we might give y'all a prize. We're going to come back to this. We might give y'all a t-shirt, give y'all something, some type of prize. But thanks for rocking out with me, man. I'm here. We out of here. Oh, last thing. Our next one, we're going to open up the phone lines. All right, so if people want to call in, ask a question, but we working. We're going to get better at this, man. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate y'all. Peace.